This is KGW News at noon.
And take a look at this. This is the aftermath of the metro area's history-making snowstorm. This noon, roads are treacherous, covered with compacted snow and ice, leaving cars and semis stranded for hours. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Brenta Braxton. PDX got almost 11 inches of snow. It hasn't recorded that much in 80 years. We have team coverage this noon. Our KGW crews are out at the airport. They're also talking with commuters here in town and keeping tabs on highways in our area. But we start this noon with meteorologist Rod Hill in the Weather Center. And Rod, it's going to get even colder tonight.
Yeah, and I think that is the top story right now for the majority of our areas, certainly all the Portland metro area up into Vancouver. The snow, of course, stopped earlier this morning, and now we're waiting for the coldest temperatures to come in. The temperature had actually been going down during the morning. It's just now starting to go up. We've gone from 26 last hour to 27 degrees at noon. But look at what we expect to happen tonight. The cloudiness we currently have will be clearing out, projecting Portland to get down to 18. Not only a record low, but smashing a record. The record for tomorrow morning right now, 25 back in 1969. Salem 19. Kelso Longview could be down to 16. Hillsborough the same. Out in the East Gorge, the Dalles. You folks could get down to 13. Here's what one of the forecast models says for other spots. Hood River 13, Tillamook 20 degrees, up in Astoria 23. And a reminder that on top of all that, east winds are blowing. There's a wind chill advisory out tonight for the areas in blue, including the Portland metro area, Clark County. And when you get up into the mountains, wind chill factors will be 15 below here in the Portland metro area. If you're in the wind zone, it could feel like 0. I know it's still snowing in parts of Yamhill County. We'll talk about that coming up shortly. Here's Chris McGinn.
Yeah, that's some really cold stuff. And obviously, Rod, then the snow that's on the roads is going to be sticking around. So here's a look at the traffic map. And there's still lots of red and orange out there. In some cases, the traffic sensors are still iced over. I wanted to zoom in real quick and take you into the northwest part of our, you know what, guys, I'm going to have to bypass this, and I apologize, but I've got the wrong clicker in my hand. So with that in mind, I am going to send you over to one of our big trouble spots in town right now, which is I-5 on that southbound stretch between Delta Park and the Fremont Bridge. I know Devin Haskins was stuck in that this morning. What's that looking like right now, Devin?
Yeah, hey, right now it is looking much better compared to what I got stuck in this morning. What should have taken me 20-30 minutes this morning took me 4 hours. Right now, I-5 heading southbound into town. Pretty much clear. You got a few semi trucks that are off to the side of the road. Some still trying to get out. After I got to work at 7:30 this morning, again after 4 hours, I grabbed my stuff, headed right back here to where people were still stuck and were in the same predicament as I was.
Stuck for hours. 4 hours, that is. This picture taken at 3:30 in the morning on I-5 heading southbound. This one just after 4 and another after 5. That's even my hood raised and getting jumped on the freeway after I turned off my engine but left the key on. At 6 a.m., movement. What I hoped was the end came to a stop again. This was the story for hundreds of others just like me, stuck on I-5 heading south with nowhere to go. Fernando Cisnero, stuck for more than 2 hours this morning, made me realize I was one of the lucky ones.
Yesterday I got stuck for about 7.5, 8 hours going home. And then today I thought if I left a little earlier, it wouldn't be as bad, but I live 5 minutes from here.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. This woman abandoned her car, but started walking back to it after some movement in traffic. At the Going Street on-ramp, these cars are heading the wrong direction. Instead of waiting it out, I saw multiple cars turn around and head back. Eric was one of those drivers.
Well, I actually ran out of gas, and then if it wasn't for one of these truckers down here to give me a couple gallons of fuel, I would have been able to get out of there. So,
Gotcha.
I mean, it's pretty nasty. I drove from this way to this way, and I don't know what to do.
Omar Mahfoud is just trying to deliver his goods. When I caught up with him, he had been stranded for over an hour on the Lombard on-ramp. For many like him, a freeway stoppage means lost revenue.
There's nothing I can do. Just have to sit.
The freeways were jammed up in multiple spots. This was I-205 on the Glen Jackson Bridge. Our KGW crew passed by this jackknife semi. Just part of the problem, making travel on freeways very difficult today and last night.
All right, so back out here live again. We're just past the Lombard exit heading south on I-5. You see this truck right here. It is just trying to get going after the freeway finally got some movement within the last couple hours. Back and forth, trying to get some movement. Again, the freeway back open again after multiple hours of having such a big problem trying to get cars into Portland. So right now we're going to send it back into Chris McGinnis for a look at more on the traffic. Chris?
Yeah, and great look at that spinning tire there, obviously with the ice on the roads. ODOT mentioned to us earlier this morning one of their biggest concerns was trucks that did not have chains that were sliding and then blocking highways. One of our big trouble spots right now continues to be the Glenn Jackson Bridge. And this is a live look right now on I-205 out near Airport Way. Check out the northbound lineup. You can see these cars and trucks. Some of these cars and trucks have been stuck here for hours. Meanwhile, the ramp from Airport Way, you can see one or two cars trying to trickle by. So that is one of our big trouble spots right now, trying to get from Portland to Vancouver. We'll switch gears. I do have a little bit of hope or maybe some good news here in that we have seen some movement. This is I-84 westbound near the I-5 interchange. We've seen ODOT actually going in here and individually plucking some of these trucks, some of these semis, grabbing them by a tow rope and getting them up that ramp onto I-5 South. So there's been a little bit of progress, but there's still a logjam of trucks that are stuck in that lineup right now trying to get onto I-5. And I want to give you one more perspective of another ramp that we've been watching all morning long. This is from our Rose City Sky camera. The good news and the bad news. The good news is if you look at I-5 here, you can see that the salt has done its job even with temperatures near or below freezing. We've got bare pavement right now on sections of I-5. However, the ramp from I-5 north to I-84, look at these semis. They are stuck there. They have been stuck there since late last night in many cases. So Brenda, we are far from out of this in terms of the conditions of just the highways. We've got more on, of course, some of the local roads in the city of Portland and Washington County coming up in just a little bit.
Absolutely. That ramp is usually my way home, but not today. Chris, thank you. We've been following all the weather-related disruptions at the Portland airport today. So this is a live look at the big board. Right now, there are 14 flight delays and 85 cancellations. The Port of Portland urges you to check with your airline before going out to PDX. Well, Bryant Clerkley was just at the Portland airport catching up with some stranded passengers. He joins us live this noon in Drive 8. Bryant, what did they tell you?
Hey Brenda, yeah, we definitely want to stress, to check that Fly PDX website because there are a lot of canceled flights. You just went over them. So take a look at this. This is to get onto we're on Airport Way to get onto North 205, and you can just see the line of cars and the traffic that is just stuck here. And this is what we've been dealing with all morning. But we did speak to one woman who was trying to catch a flight to Arizona that got canceled, and she's staying in the airport until it's safe to drive back home to Roseburg. Tony Sands says she slept in her car last night on the side of the freeway. She was a few miles away from PDX, but she could not get there when the snowstorm started. She says a lot of the cars were sliding and she was scared and trying to get out of the way. She says she finally got her car into the parking lot at PDX around 9 this morning. She feels safer staying at the airport until the roads clear. She had been in her car since 7 last night, and last time we looked, there were just so many flights canceled at PDX.
I was scared. Because there was certain people walking around, and I was a little scared because it was cold and I'm on the side of the freeway. I'm by myself. Wasn't happy. My first time traveling, wasn't a good experience.
And just so everyone knows, it took me and photographer Eric Patterson more than 3 hours to get across the Glenn Jackson Bridge from Vancouver over to Portland and to PDX. So it was gridlocked, and hopefully there is a better situation now. Back to you guys.
If not now, maybe sometime soon. Thank you very much, Bryant Clerkley, reporting in Drive 8. The storm also knocked out power. PGE and Pacific Power are each reporting almost 5,000 customers without electricity. And Clark Public Utilities reports more than 1,300 customers without power this noon. Well, Christine Pitawanich spent the morning in Portland's Goose Hollow neighborhood. And Christine, you caught up with some early morning commuters.
Yeah, Brenda, a number of people decided to come out and brave the conditions. I can tell you just from like walking out of the car to be here, these streets are pretty treacherous if you're walking, but pretty dangerous too if you're driving. You can see the street closed sign here behind me here at Southwest Columbia and 17th. And if you look all the way up the road, while we were here, I mean, just very recently, another bus got stuck on this hill trying to get up it and failing. The reality, though, is not everyone can work remotely. Some have to venture out onto these streets. The snow is beautiful, but man, can it make it tough if you need to get somewhere.
It's pretty. I think it's nice, but I'd like it to stay up on Mount Hood, please. Because it's like, it takes my normally like maybe less than an hour commute, and it takes it to like 2 hours sometimes.
Stephanie Murray is one of the many commuters who had to trudge through the snow to get to work, worried about how much time it would take. TriMet and C-Tran reported delays. Some bus routes were suspended, especially those in areas with tricky roads. Southwest Columbia between 17th and 15th and Southwest Portland was closed. These two buses couldn't make it up the hill. Still, some commuters chose to take things in stride, like Ian Litster. All this, and did you wake up earlier or?
No, just boots and yak tracks. It'll get you there.
Others were out early, not commuting, but trying to find a place with electricity.
Oh, the electricity went out about 7:30 or 8 o'clock last night, and nothing's running because everything's on electricity. And I have an interview at 10 and one again at 12 via phone, and the phone died.
Wendy Cooper hoping to find a spot to charge her phone, and like so many of us, also hoping it warms up soon so all of this can start melting off. Yeah, and as I watch this bus as it's struggling, you got to feel for the bus driver, too, who's behind the wheel. People having to go to work today. I mean, sometimes there's just no way around it. Like I said, you can't work remotely all the time. In fact, this morning I spoke to a woman who worked at OHSU. She said last night it took her 2 hours to walk from the South Waterfront all the way back to her house here in the Goose Hollow neighborhood. But as I say that, I'm almost slipping myself. So if you can stay out of this stuff, like we always say, do it. Don't come out if you don't have to. Brenda?
100%. Christine, thank you. Take care. Hey, we ask viewers to send in their snow pictures, and boy, did you come through. We got a ton of them. We'll start with this one from James Coolbaugh. It is a beautiful view of a snowy Multnomah Falls. Vernon White snapped a pic of his pup out investigating the snow. Look at him sniffing around there. And here's one from downtown Portland. You can see a couple folks out and about enjoying their snow day. We would love to see your photos and videos as well. Text us at 503-226-5088. We'll show as many as we can here on the air. And for weather updates throughout the day, download the KGW News app. You can look at live Doppler radar and cameras from around the region.